Most people believe money and happiness move in the same direction, two lines on a graph that naturally rise together over time. Earn more, feel better, climb higher, live happier, work harder now so life feels lighter later. It sounds logical, responsible, even motivating. It fits the story we are told from childhood, that financial progress is emotional progress, and that a bigger number automatically creates a better life. But after years of watching how people actually behave with money, not how they say they behave, not what they post, not what they intend, but how they live day to day when the decisions are real and the pressure is personal, a different pattern quietly reveals itself. The people under the most financial pressure are not always the least happy. Some carry burdens with surprising emotional steadiness, and the people with the most wealth are not always the most at peace. Some live in a constant state of mental negotiation, because the real issue is not money itself, it is the idea of enough. Early in life, money has a clear, practical, almost mechanical purpose. Pay the rent, buy food, keep the lights on, cover school fees, handle emergencies. Every dollar solves a visible problem. Every improvement feels measurable. Progress is tangible, immediate, and emotionally registered. When the bills are covered and the fridge is full, there is relief. When the month ends without crisis, there is quiet pride. That feeling, relief, is one of the strongest forms of happiness the human nervous system produces. It is not excitement. It is not thrill. It is safety, returning to the body. Muscles loosen. Breathing slows. The mind rests. But as income rises, something subtle happens, and it rarely announces itself. Money stops being about survival and starts being about comparison. Now the questions change, and they change quietly. Not, are we okay, but are we ahead? Not, are we safe, but are we winning? The goalpost moves, and it keeps moving. The house is no longer shelter. It's a statement about where you stand. The car is no longer transport. It's a ranking in motion. Income is no longer security. It's a scoreboard that updates every year. And scoreboards never say enough. They only say higher or lower, ahead or behind, gain or loss. There is no emotional finish line built into comparison. I have seen clients double their income and double their anxiety at the same time. Outwardly, life looks upgraded. Internally, pressure intensifies. Not because life became harder in a physical sense, but because expectations inflated faster than satisfaction could keep up. This is called hedonic adaptation. The brain normalizes improvement with remarkable speed. What once felt like luxury becomes standard. What once brought gratitude becomes background. The emotional spike fades, and the new level quietly becomes the minimum requirement for feeling normal. The lifestyle grows. Responsibilities grow with it, but the emotional experience drifts back to neutral, sometimes even below it, because now there is more to maintain and more to lose. There is another shift people don't anticipate, and it arrives without warning. Before wealth, the fear is not having. After wealth, the fear is losing. Investments to monitor, assets to protect, taxes to manage, decisions that carry larger consequences. A single mistake now feels expensive, not just financially, but psychologically. The margin for error feels thinner, even as resources increase. More choice sounds like freedom, but choice also creates cognitive load. More options, more variables, more responsibility. Money removes certain stresses, unpaid bills, instability, but introduces strategic stress that follows you mentally, even in quiet moments. And the human brain was not designed to feel constant responsibility without periods of emotional completion. Meanwhile, people with modest means often live closer to visible meaning, and meaning stabilizes emotion in ways money cannot replicate. Family, community, shared effort, interdependence. Small wins that still feel like wins because they stand out clearly against daily effort. A repaired appliance, a shared meal, a problem solved together. These register as real events, not background noise. Their expectations are anchored to stability, not superiority. The reference point is, life is functioning, not life is outperforming others. When they say, we're okay, it is not resignation. It is not lack of ambition. It is psychological closure, a sense that for now, the essentials are handled. And closure brings peace because the mind is not scanning for the next gap. Happiness does not come from having more than others, even though comparison constantly suggests it might. It comes from believing you have enough for your life, enough for your values, your responsibilities, your vision of stability. That belief draws a boundary, and boundaries calm the nervous system. Inside that boundary, the body shifts out of vigilance, sleep improves, decisions slow down, presence returns. Outside it, the chase continues, and the chase is biologically wired for alertness, scanning, and competition. The brain in pursuit mode is optimized for survival and performance, not contentment. As a financial advisor, the most important question I can ask someone is not the one people expect. Not, how much do you want to make? Not, how fast do you want to grow? Not, what's your target number? It is, what does enough look like for you in real, specific terms? Because without that answer, income becomes a treadmill that quietly accelerates. Each increase resets the baseline. Each success raises the internal standard. No matter how fast you run, Psychologically, you never arrive. But when a person defines enough, clearly, intentionally, and personally, money changes roles. It stops being a measuring stick for self-worth. It stops being a public signal. It becomes a tool again, a resource, serving a life that already has direction, limits, and priorities. And that is where financial peace lives. Not in the number, but in the boundary.